Hello everyone and welcome back to OBF1. We are here at Canada today. First for Tier 2 and then shortly followed by Tier 1. I hope you're all good in the chat. Where's the Tier 2 playlist? There it is. Obviously I haven't had my proper setup, like I haven't had my PC or anything recently, so the last two streams were a bit of a dud streams, but we're all good now. We're back and we will be underway shortly. Just tell them to ready up. Give me 2 seconds. Safe. Jeez, that was quick. Everyone's ready up already. Right, let's go. So yeah, we're here at Canada. We had Baku, I think it was last weekend. So let's see how these drivers can handle a bit of an easier circuit this week. Trying to sort my volume up. Right, can I share? I can. Thank you. Everyone. And send. Right, that's it. So, have we got anyone on track yet? No, we don't. So let's get all the details up. We want tyre, we want lap data, and we want the track map. Right, let's get the driver standings up. No, actually, let's get the race results, shall we? Right, Mitchell Palmer. Right, that's saved, so I can go to OneDrive. We have someone out on track now. We have a few people out on track, actually. Let me just turn my volume down so I can actually hear myself. So we got Hassel, who is out first. Let's hide the UI. I want to get the... Right, so we got nobody serving quali bans this weekend either, so that's a decent start. We did have Wraith who got a quali ban for no footage, but he was only a reserve and he's not driving tonight. That's about it. Let's have a look at the race results. So last time out at Azerbaijan, CDM won and got the fastest lap. He is here again tonight. We're missing quite a few drivers. Some of them had to pull out last minute. But CDM had a very decent result. His last two races, he had a pretty bad start to the season. He didn't start in Bahrain. He DNF'd in every race up until Miami. Got 17th in Miami. DNF'd again in Spain. And then managed to get second in Monaco and first in Azerbaijan. So that was difficult.
Mate, you've restrictions to manual only.
I shouldn't have. Have I? Oh god, I have. Right. Right. Alright, here's a bit of an issue. Right, 2 seconds. Right. This is my bad. Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna have to create a new lobby. Right, let's have a quick gander. Sorry about this. We will be back underway in a second's time. Just give me 2 minutes. Settings. Actually, I can change the settings after. Let's invite everyone first. Right, so always grinding. Anton, CDM, Hawkbite, Invader, Marshall, James, Seddon, King James, Mosh, Schnitzy. Come on, where's the rest? Come on, where is everyone? Genserino. Kenna said he can't race. Manx reserve now. Mitchell Palmer has one last chance to join. Neil Moser can't race because of his internet. Paul Harrison, Pistol, Ratho, Robin, Shankly, Marcus, Sanchez, Steve, Team Red. Can't race. And Hassel as well. Invite. Right, invites are out. What do you mean my internet is not sufficient? Mate, I've got banging internet. Shut up. Save and load settings. Load tier 2. It's because I accidentally deleted. Not deleted, but accidentally saved the default settings. Gearbox. There. Automatic. Save settings. Yeah, I accidentally clicked save instead of load. And that changed all the settings. I messed up. Oh, have I just done it again? Am I just that stupid? I am. Right, save and load settings. We got 10 people in. Save. And then track select. Canada. Right, who's in spectate? So we got Hassel, James, Jezrino, Marsh, Jason, Anton, Hawkeye, Grinder, just waiting on a few more people. I'm gonna lose my job. It was a genuine mistake. Right, live chat. This is absolutely disastrous from me. Okay. Let's get back to it. Right, who have we got? Invader. So we're on one more. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Hassel, James Nage, Serena, Marsh, Jason, Anton, Hawkeye, Snitsy, Always Grinding, King James, Invader, CDM. So who's missing? Who is missing? Snitsy, Hawkeye, James, Serena, Sen, Kenna, Anton. It's Anton that's missing. No, he's not. Oh, here he is. Who's missing? Anton is here. So who's missing? Invader is here. Hassel, Mosh, Flames, CDM, King James. Hold on. Let's have a look. 12. No one's missing. Right, okay. Yeah, that's everyone. We can start. Only 13 minutes late. But that's okay. Right, let's go back to the live view. Good start. Let's get this shit underway. I am in spectator, that's all good. So... oh god, this race is 35 laps. Right. Let's focus back on the action. James Ney as well extends his lead in the championship. Obviously, currently finished second place last week at Baku. Currently sitting 148 points in the driver's standings. He's quite a bit clear of King James, currently sitting in second with 80 points, and he's carrying that Aston Martin up in the constructors as well on his own, as his teammate has left the league, unknown why, but he did. CDM bringing Alpine back up. CDM winning last time out. Obviously now sitting on 44 points. He's had good points in his last two races. So I think he finished second and first. Did he get the fastest lap in both of them? He did not. Hassel got the fastest lap out in Monaco. But we are now underway. Let's hope these drivers don't forget their setups. Thus can be an issue with this, but we're all good. All the drivers are now coming out. Who's going to be the first one out this time? It is an Alfa Romeo. It is Jen Serino. So we'll stick on board with Jen Serino as he will be the first one to set a qualifying lap here at the Canadian Grand Prix in Tier 2. Again, I do apologise for the delay to the start of the session. I kind of made an upsie and I might lose my job for it. But we'll be okay. It's a great camera angle that is, isn't it? That's fantastic. It's better. So I think what we'll do, I know it's only his first lap, we'll ride on board with Jen Serino as he prepares that Alfa Romeo on that the soft set of racing tyres. Obviously more commonly used in qualifying now than actually in the race, because the tyre deg is crazy on these soft tyres. A 35 lap race, it's interesting to see if anyone's going to go for a 2-stop. But we are now going to start qualifying for the first lap as well. Jen Serino Hawk Prize retired from the session. That's not good. Where was that? I was coming out of the... That's not even coming out of the chicane. No, not the chicane, the hairpin, sorry. But obviously this is one of the trickiest corners to not invalidate on. To invalidate on. Manages to negotiate it perfectly. It doesn't invalidate his lap coming up to this tricky section, this tricky corner as well. Very hard to find grip on exit. Manages it pretty decently though. As we come up to the chicane, you want to take a lot of curbing on the inside there just to try and get the best exit possible. He does it pretty well, Serino does. Now coming into the hairpin, you want to take a late apex to get the best exit possible out of there. Obviously setting purple seconds at the minute, but he is the first one on a lap, remember that. So he will take provisional pole for the time being. But coming in now to the chicane, into the wall of champions, will he be able to negotiate it pretty well? Gets a little bit close to the wall, but that's what you want to do. You want to maximise the amount of time by going close to the wall. And so on 111.8 is a decent benchmarker, as we've got James Nay, the current championship leader, no pressure on him on his first lap. Not sure what his current sector times are, but he is foot to the floor with his DRS wide open as he comes into the final chicane. How close is he going to get to that wall? Doesn't invalidate. Sticks off the curbing, which on this game I think is actually a pretty decent way of gaining time. It's a 112.6 though. Not quick enough for the pole, but Snitsy right behind. 111.321. That is a decent lap from Snitsy. Who else we got? We got the AlphaTauri, who has invalidated. We got Sedan moving slowly, getting out the way for Mosh, who is currently on straight dive into the pits at the minute. We got Anton Hyper though. We haven't seen much of Anton. He raced at Spa, got P4, and he DNF'd at Baku, unfortunately, but he's going to come across the line to start his out lap, so he's not actually on a lap yet. So who have we got on a lap? We got the Alpine of CDM on an out lap. King James just invalidates. That's unfortunate to invalidate there. Who else have we got? We got a Merc behind. Invader is on a lap. His DRS light is flashing though, so it doesn't look like he's going to finish that lap. Snitsy just getting out the way for Invader nicely. So who is on a lap? Hassel is on a lap. We're right on board with Hassel as he sets a purple sector 1. Is he going to be able to do it again in sector 2? Is he going to take us? He takes the curb there nicely. A lot of traction coming out with that chicane. Coming into the hairpin before the long straight. He has set a purple sector 2. He's looking like he's going to go on to provisional pole at the minute. All the other drivers in the pits obviously setting some new set of softs on. So Hassel now, DRS wide open. Foot is flat to the floor. Can he get close to the wall? He stays away from the curbing as well. Doesn't want to go over it. But it is a quick lap time. It is going to be a 1 minute 12.1. Not good enough for P2 though. He was setting good sector times. He lost it in that final sector. So we got CDM who's coming up to the final hairpin now as well. Who's invalidated the numpty. He's not going to be happy with that one, is he? So we got Seddon on an out lap. We've got Anton. Is he on a lap or is he not? His DRS lights flashing, so he's not on a lap. Alright, King James, CDM in the pits. Castle, only one. He's 2 tenths up. I don't think he's on a lap. I think. Oh, I don't know. You can see his DRS lights flashing then. Nah, it is flashing. So we got. Let's have a look at Always Grinding. He's on his out lap at the minute. I don't think we've shown much of Always Grinding this season, but he hasn't had a bad start to the season. He had 1 point in Bahrain, missed out on points unluckily in Jeddah, 2 DNFs, another P10 and a P7 at, why does that say Spa? Oh, Spain. It's the country, never mind. So it's not a bad one. Snitsy, we know, is a fast, consistent driver, currently sitting lower down in the standings I thought he would. He missed out on points in Bahrain, unfortunately. Got a P1 at Jeddah and fastest lap. P8 at Australia. Imola, he got P7. Not sure what he got in the sprint race, it doesn't say here. Miami, he got 6. He didn't participate in Spain, and he got DNF in Monaco. Obviously Monaco being the difficult track it is. And Azerbaijan, he got a P4. So obviously it's not been the best season that Snitch has had currently in OBF1. He's going to be looking to improve in the later half of the season though. We've got Canada today, obviously we've got Great Britain next week, and then Austria the week after. And obviously Tier 1's Baku got cancelled. To be seen Team Red, who's not here due to some personal issues. He turned up in Tier 1 last week. I don't think he had a bad result either. But Always Grinding puts his Alpine in P8. Let's have a look at his teammate CDM, as he still hasn't set a lap time. Neither is King James, Hawkpie or Mosh. Hawkpie unfortunately DNF'd at the start of qualifying though, so that was rather unfortunate. We are going to ride on board with CDM as he completes hopefully his first flying lap of the night, as he invalidates again, finding turn, what turn is that, turn 4? 1, 2, no, turn 3, sorry, close enough. CDM finding turn 3 very difficult, and unfortunately invalidates. He wants to turn his ERS off if he wants to complete another lap. So who have we got near the line? We got Hassel, I think, near the line, who has invalidated. Then we got CDM, Jason in the pit, sorry. Obviously Always Grinding isn't on a lap. CDM, then we got Invader. Good old Invader, where are you? There you are. Is he on a lap is the question though. He is on a, I don't know, he's not, his DRS hasn't been activated. So I think he's going to dive into the pits. No, he's not. Is it a good lap though? No, it's a 1:17. It's a pretty slow lap. I'm not sure why. I couldn't tell you. So we got, we got the AlphaTauri of King James diving into the pits as well. We got the Red Bull of Mosh in the background at the end of the straight, who has invalidated his lap as well. I think he's going to dive straight into the pits here. Let's stick on board with Anton, as I think he is currently... Oh, Genserino's a little bit further up. Is he? Genserino? He's invalidated though. Let's stick on board with Anton then. See what kind of lap Anton can pull out of the bag. So Hawkeye said he sneezed while warming his tyres up and lost it. Anton has invalidated his outlap. It's only his outlap. See what he can do. See how this McLaren livery is such a good livery. Alright, his DRS is now activated as he crosses the line to start his next flying lap. Takes it a little deep into turn 1. That's going to lose him a bit of time. He's revving the hell out of second gear and third. I don't know, was it a glitch? Takes a nice line through turn 3, doesn't invalidate. Want to keep it as close as possible to the wall for the tightest line through there. Manages it well, takes a nice chunky curb there. Purple sector 1 currently for Anton. DRS again activated, obviously 3 DRS zones around Canada. Brake as late as possible, take as much curb as possible, keep the grip, keep the traction. Manages it well. Coming into the next hairpin, again, you want to take a late apex, as I said before. Anton opts for an early one. And now down to the DRS line. He's going to activate the DRS. Foot flaps on the floor. ERS is running low currently. Is he going to have enough to finish this lap? He takes the chicane nicely, avoids the curbs. Curbs on this game does slow you down slightly, but you can also find time in there. So 1:11, that's good enough for P2. That's a decent lap from Anton. He's going to hope for a good race. He hasn't had many of them so far. Well, let's say that he's for the P4, so he has a decent race. But he did have a DNF at Baku. CDM again. It is only his outlap, but he did invalidate it. What's he doing? Qualifying though, looking very close. Top 6 all in the 1:11s. This could be an interesting race. You don't want to miss it. So let's have a look. CDM now starting his first flying lap. He takes it, keeps it low. Not the one you want to take at the start of the lap. I think I prefer starting the lap high and ending low to gain the most time. But CDM has a nice line through 1 and 2. Let's hope he doesn't invalidate through turn 3 again. Brake as late as possible. He doesn't invalidate. For once, he's kept it on the track and in the limits. He's going to take as much curb as possible. He avoids the curb. It's not the quickest line through there, but you can still gain some time there. We haven't seen. I've missed what sector he set. Snitsy though improves his lap with a 1:10.778. That is the benchmark. And CDM has invalidated through that chicane. CDM, I hope he's got enough fuel on board for another lap, because he's only got 4 minutes of qualifying left. He's gonna want to be. He's gonna want to set a decent time soon, because he needs. If he hasn't got enough fuel, he needs to pit now and get tyres. And there's been a crash. That's the bit of wing missing. That was a bit silly from. Well, Mosh was just moving there slowly, so that wasn't really Mosh's fault. So he's got to wait for that wing repair. Has he got enough time? Mosh coming in as well. It's interesting to see if CDM says anything in the chat. Invaders on an outlap. King James currently 8/10 up, but is currently invalid. Snitzy's still on the track going into the pits. James Nay out on the track as well. He wants that pole position. He is on his out lap. He will have a clear track ahead of him, hopefully. As you can see, warming his tyres up down the straight. A lot of weaving. He wants the right amount of temperature, and we have got cars coming out on track as well. I think that's Invader. I think it looks like the Mercedes stopped from this distance. I might be wrong. But James Nay is starting his lap right on board. Let's hope that car ahead doesn't get in the way. Takes a nice amount of curb through turn 1. Try and keep it as tight as possible through turn 2. Use third gear for traction. At CDM, just apologising to Mosh in the chat. Good sportsmanship there. James Nay, how much curb is he going to take through here? Not much curb. He avoids the curb. It is a good line. He's got good traction at the corner as well, which is what he wants. Coming to the chicane. Obviously, we've seen a few drivers invalidate here. It takes a lot of the chicane, but doesn't invalidate. There was a decent line to that chicane. I thought that was going to be an invalidation there, but it wasn't. Now the hairpin. Let's see what kind of apex he's going for. He is going for the late apex, mid-corner apex. Good exit out of the hairpin. Now he's just got that long straight. He's going to activate his DRS. He's got a minute and 30 left, so if he wants, he could set another time, but he might not have enough ERS to do it. He's just got to hope he keeps it clean and not invalidate through the wall track. There's a little bit of understeer through there, but it's still looking good at the minute. He's going to cross the line with a 1 minute 11. So he's put his Aston Martin in P2. It's a good spot to start the race in, but can anyone beat it? He's got Invader 2/10 up on his last time. That's not going to be what Invader wants. We've got a load of drivers now coming out starting their out laps. The Hassel invalidates his last attempt. It's going to be unfortunate. I don't think he's going to make it back to make another lap. Possible if he cuts the... he might actually cut the chicane, couldn't he? See James Nay. We've got Snitsy remaining in the pits. I'm assuming he's happy with his time. He's not going to have enough time to set another lap. Yeah, I think Hassel might just make it. Anton currently 5/10 up and invalid, so he's not going to be improving his lap time. Jay Seddon starting his last lap. Will stay on board with Seddon. Obviously the man has indulged in some wine today at work, so let's hope he can keep it clean still. Keeps a nice line, doesn't invalidate it. They're very close to the wall. I'm not sure if he touched or not. But Seddon.
Hello all.
Hello, how's it going, man? Seddon, I missed the second time again because I was looking at the chat. And he takes a nice line through the chicane. He does take a very nice line through the chicane and gets the traction on exit as well. That's what he wants. How's his sector 2 time gonna look? He's currently 2/10 up, but it's not much of an improvement. Can he get a good exit out of the hairpin to boost him down the straight? He might get some tow off the car in front if he gets close enough. I don't think he will be close enough for the tow though. They said would have been hoping for that tow, but he's not going to get it. And now to the final corner. Invalidates at the final corner. He is up as well. It's not what he wants to see. King James as well improves. So that is the end of qualifying. King James obviously there finishing 7th place, we can see. So that is the end of qualifying. We will be underway for the race shortly. Mosh got a 5.
That's unlucky, Seddon.
So we got Snitsy in P1, CDM P2, Jen Serena P3, James Nay P4, Hassel P5, Anton in P6, King James P7, Always Grind in P8, Invader P9, Seddon P10, Hawk Pie P11, and Mosh P12. So Snitsy's going to be really happy with that qualifying session. We got... So it was a decent qualifying session from Tier 2. It was very close as well, as you can tell. Most of the they're all within a second of each other, which means it was a very, very close qualifying. Now it just comes down to who can perform better in the race. So I've changed the formation up to a broadcast just to make it quicker. But we will be underway shortly. Just waiting for the drivers to confirm their final strategies, and we will be underway. And we will get underway in the next 20 seconds. From now, obviously. So if you are enjoying the stream,
hoping crossplay sorts itself out so I can race with you all.
Yeah, just hopefully we can sort the crossplay. Well, not we can, but Codemasters sorts out it all soon, and it's a more stable connection, because it'd be a shame not to have you there. It is broadcast Jen Serino.
Here we go then. The formation lap is underway and the track temperature looks warm. That may or may not play into some
So
of the
obviously we
team's
got your
hands
tyre
in
options in
today's
the
race.
bottom right, soft, medium and hard. So obviously you got Snitsy starting on the hard tyres. That's an interesting choice. You will be going long on that first stint. CDM opting for the mediums. He will be pitting first. So there we go. We've got, I think that's Snitsy. We've got his pit strategy. Hard, medium. So it is going to be a one stop, sorry. But he has got the option for a 2-stop. So we have got the red lights now. We've got all 5 of them. And we are a go again. Slow start off the line. I'm not sure why, but Snitsy does get a decent start. He keeps CDM at bay into turn 1. A little bit of contact between the two. CDM has to back out and he gets on the curb, which is very dangerous around this track. 5-second time penalty for a collision between Always Burning and Hawkeye. Hawkeye getting the penalty. That's going to be an unfortunate start for Hawkeye's race. Snitsy though off to a great start and does retain his lead into the first sector. So CDM wants to get past as soon as possible. Jen Serino though off to a great start as well. Let's have a look at some of the details. Jen Serino keeps P3. King James, a great start from King James. He's up 3 positions already. So let's get the tyres data up. As we got CDM making a move on the inside of the hairpin. Can't make it stick, but he's got ERS and he's not opting for the toe, but
Pop
he does
was
make a move
late on the
past
brakes,
Snitsy.
then sheesh.
And that's CDM up into first place. He's just got to create a gap now from Snitsy before that DRS if he wants any chance of increasing the gap. It's a great move though from King James to keep 2 drivers at bay. Anton making it past James Nay there, and into turn 1. Does he keep? Can he get past King James? He can't. He is trying though. Oh, James Nay went off the track there. I'm not sure what that was about. Anton really up the gearbox now of King James. Going to try and make a move as soon as possible. This is a great start to the Canadian Grand Prix, but King James is falling behind now. He has got a 3-second gap to Jen Serino. And as I say that, it increases to 4. And they do have DRS now, so this will be a DRS train, and obviously King James will be vulnerable after the hairpin, as he's got the McLaren right behind. But King James' battery looking still pretty high. Anton's is using a lot of his battery at the minute. But obviously Anton vulnerable from the car behind, but not as vulnerable as King James. Anton though, very, very out of control on the exit of the corner. That's going to slow him down a little bit. Is he going to look to make a move? He is looking to make the move into the chicane. And he does go over the track limits. He will get a 3-second time penalty there for the track limits, but he does make the move stick. But that 3-second penalty will slow him down later on. CDM with a 1.5-second gap. King James as well making a move on Invader there. because obviously Invader got past, and now King James has retaken his position. It's been a great first 3 laps. James Ney with a 3-second time penalty. That turn 3 is deadly for track limits. Invader had a little luck then, but thought better of making a move. But he will try again now. He will have DRS, obviously. It's just a matter of, is his setup faster in the straight? He can't make the move into the chicane. He's going to wait now for the next DRS straight to make the move. Anton will be vulnerable from an attack from King James as well at this point, remember. And Anton obviously on the slower tyres as well, so he's not going to get as good of an exit as King James. And King James is now chasing with the DRS. I don't think he's going to be close enough though. Anton might just keep his position, but Invader in the background again looked to make the move but didn't. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? We got a slow car. That's CDM. CDM is around. I completely missed that. What happened to CDM? Did he hit a pit wall again? That would be classic CDM if he did hit the pit wall. We got contact between Hassel and James Ney. James Ney with a great save to keep his car facing the right direction. Obviously, he unfortunately had the contact and he's lost the position because of it, but it was a great bloody save. But now CDM with a 3-second time penalty, and Snitsy has just got. And now Jen Serino has got a 2-second gap to close to Snitsy, well 2.7 seconds, and it just keeps increasing. Snitsy is pulling out great lap times on these hard tyres. Hawkeye gets himself a 3-second time penalty for track limits now, as well as that 5-second penalty for causing a collision, as the game had told us. So that is a little bit of an issue. Hawkeye hoping he can get rid of that penalty in the pit lane. Invader looking to make a move. Very tight line. There's going to be a bit of contact there. Invader gets pushed into the wall. There's not much that could have been done to avoid that. Anton, another 3-second time penalty. That's 6 seconds for Anton at the minute. So Anton is racking up these penalties. He's going to want to increase this gap as soon as possible. We got James Ney trying to make a move on Hassel, but Hassel trying to make a move on King James as well. It looks like it's going to be a move completed there by Hassel. And Hassel is up to P4, and he's got a 1.8 gap too close to Anton for P3. Hassel has had a really great season starting this season. Obviously, he joined the league this season, and he's had a great start so far. I think he joined Hassel. Where is he? Yeah, his first race was in Australia. First race he finished 7th. Then Imola was 5th. He won Miami. He got didn't finish at Spain. Got a 5th again in Monaco and didn't finish Baku. So it's a decent start. He had a fastest lap as well recorded. But the thing is, what we got to know, right, is the only driver this season to win more than one race is James Ney. Currently sitting in P6. And he looks like he's about to lose a bit of position. There's a little bit of contact between the two. King James looking very loose, and there's contact between Seddon and King James, and Invader gets caught up as well and loses the position. So a lot of drama going on in this midfield. And cars now are separating slowly. This is the only battle we've got at the minute. That's within a second. And there's 3 cars. CDM is still in P9. He's still driving without that front wing though. So CDM is going to be slow, and Invader is going to want to get past as soon as possible. CDM wants to pit. Preferably probably go on the softs and make it a 2-stop strategy. Go on the softs and then go on the hard set. CDM doesn't want to go around this track and lap without a front wing for too long, otherwise he is going to be vulnerable from overtakes. He's going to be good in the straights without that front wing though. But we got Hassel now on the back of Anton. Ferrari v McLaren. Hassel gets a brilliant exit coming out the corner, and that will leave him. He's got the chance for a late braking move into turn 1, takes too much curb, gets himself a 3-second time penalty, tries to switch back, and he couldn't make it happen. Anton parking his car brilliantly. Thought they were gonna go side by side there. Anton again, track limits. He's getting close to another warning, but he's making it hard for Hassel to make a move at the minute, and that's going to allow James to catch up as well. Did just get a message, but it doesn't matter at the minute. As we can see, Anton he's not going to have DRS, and Hassel is right behind as we come up to the hairpin. So that means this should... Oh, we got Hawkpie's retired. Hawkpie is retired from the session. That's in the pit lane. Not
Penalties
sure
left, right, and center.
Not sure what that's about. Let's go into the race day chat, see if he says anything. But yeah, you're not wrong. It is penalties left, right, and center at the minute. But Hassel, side by side with Anton through the chicane. Anton still just planting his car where he needs to, making it very difficult for Hassel. And that's going to increase the gap from P2 as well for Anton, which is not what he wants. Obviously, Hassel is on the fast tyres at the minute. Them tyres not exactly in the drop-off just yet. The CDM is now in the pits. He is going to get rid of that damaged front wings. What tyres is he going on? He is going on the hards. Is he going to try and go to the end on them hard, on that hard compound? That gives Mosh P10 at the minute. Hawk by DNF didn't cause a safety car because he was in the pit lane. So that's respectable from him. He hasn't said nothing on it yet. I'll keep you guys posted if he does. But oh, there's contact between the Ferrari and the McLaren, and that is that damage for Hassel's rear wing? I don't think it is. Obviously, we can't see visible damage on the rear wings, sadly. But that's allowed Always Grinding to try and make a position into the hairpin. He does go for the move. There's contact between Invader and Always Grinding, but not enough to cause any major incidents. But that means Anton is now down in P9 and is going to be clawing him, well, not clawing, but he's going to want to start clawing his way back through the field. Jay Seddon, as we watch him get a 3-second time penalty. It's currently chaos on track as we head into lap 9. Snitsy with a 6-second gap. This is his race to lose. Hopefully I haven't just cursed him with the commentator's curse. But Hassel trying to make up some positions. He lost some of that contract from Anton. It was a bit of a silly accident, really. You don't really English. You don't really want to be going side by side through that chicane. And Invader's just got himself a 3-second time penalty for track limits. That's going to affect his race. But there is another driver with a penalty. So we got Hassel. Is he going to look to make a move on Always Grinding? CDM still trying to catch up. It's showing that he's... I was going to say he's showing his lap down, but it's just showing how long he's been on these tyres. We have got Hassel trying to make a move on Always Grinding. Anton really affected by that incident with Hassel. He is 7 seconds back from this battle. But we do have Hassel looking to make the move on Always Grinding. And it looks like he's going to get the move done just before the chicane and makes it stick. I think he'll still have DRS from where he overtook. He does. So that will keep him in P6. And now he's got a 3-second gap, or 4-second gap, sorry, to close to Seddon. We got the battle of King James and James Ney as well. So this is quite a spicy race as things stand in the minute. So let's have a look. Right, James Ney both first and second in the championship. Currently sitting 3rd and 4th on track. James Ney with a 7-second gap to P2, but is currently sitting in a podium position. But does have that penalty to deal with as well, which we can't forget about. CDM closing up to Mosh slowly but surely. He's going to catch up a lot of time when this driver's pit window's open. And this DRS is going to help King James close a lot of time. Jay Seddon in the background, just outside of the DRS. No battery left, as you see the DRS lights flashing. He's going to want to try and maximise every corner to try and get back into the DRS of King James and make this 2-car battle for P3 a 3-car battle. It's only a matter of time before he does catch up if these two keep fighting though. King James opting to take a lot of curb into turn 2. It can be risky as that curb is known for making some drivers spin. He manages to make it work. So fair play to him. It looks like James Nate is handling the pressure pretty decently. So currently at 8/10 gap. CDM with a 3-second time penalty as well for track limits. And he spun as well and lost his wing. CDM, what is going on, mate? That is the second time that he has hit the wall at the same corner and lost his wing. CDM is absolutely having a mare. He's going to want to hope that a safety car comes out and hopefully it can help him, but he's got to do a full lap with no front wing. Again, is he going to stay out this time or is he actually going to pitch straight away? That is the question on everyone's mind watching at the minute. The other question is, can King James manage to pass James Ney? And is Seddon going to catch up to this battle? He's closing slowly. Every corner he is closing, as you see, but on the exit he's not getting a good exit. He keeps falling back on the exit. Must be that wine he's got in his system. Snitsy though currently with a great lead from Genserino, 7 seconds. It's pretty much his race at the minute. He's controlling it beautifully. Should we have a look at the penalty situation? CDM 6, Mosh 3, Anton 6, Invader 3. Always grinding currently with no penalties that could help him out later on in the race. Hassel with 3, Chase Hedden with 3, King James with none, James Ney with 3. Ow, my elbow. Genserino with P2 and Snitsy currently with none. And Genserino no penalty, sorry, that's what I meant. Let's have a look at the position changes. CDM down 9 positions. He is in the pits at the minute. Is he going to retire in the pits or is he going to carry on going? He does carry on going. What compound tyre is he on? He's back on the medium set. Might come in use later, them hard tyres. But Jay's setting up 5 positions at the minute. So he started in P10. Don't he look like a good race? For Seddon. Right, let's get back onto the tyres situations. As always, Grindy manages to make a move on Hassel. We just missed that, so we were changing the screen. But Hassel is looking to make a move again, but obviously always Grindy got the DRS at the minute to help him keep P6. These tyres are going to be starting to fall off now as well. Luckily they're on the same set, so they're falling off at the same rate, depending on setup obviously. Always Grinding runs a little bit deep, and that's left a gap there for Hassel to try and make a move. Hassel will still have DRS down the straight, so he's probably going to get past and probably going to make it just before the chicane, but it's not going to happen actually, and they're going to go side by side to the chicane. Hassel just making it. And Always Grinding now back down to P7. Let's go back up. Jason has lost a good chunk of time between King James and James Ney, but James Ney ever closer to losing that position. King James right on the back now. These two making it a very steady race for each other, to be honest. There's not much going on. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. That is a car around. And that's CDM. CDM has retired on track. Let's see if we can see... Where is that? He's in the wall. That is CDM out, and that will be a full course yellow and a safety car. Genserino with a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. I'm assuming that was the 5-second glitch. But we are currently under safety car here at Canada. Much been said in chat at the minute. Nothing said in the chat. We have got some news.
Go to the loo and miss out on that? What happened there?
Well, CDM lost it in Sector 2 coming out of the chicane and lost his wheel. I don't think there was contact with another driver, but that has put CDM out of the race. So that is another DNF for CDM, which will make it CDM 1, 2, 3. So that will make it his 5th DNF this season. CDM out of the race. Snitsy leading, but his gap is no close. He did pit for mediums. Questions will be asked whether them tyres can go to the end or not. They probably can.
Oh wow.
But there is some news from EA, as obviously we're getting that special livery for Ferrari in the game on Monday. The Shanghai International Circuit also makes its return to the game. So that's a decent. Shanghai, obviously not my favourite track though, so I won't be looking forward to that. If they brought back Malaysia though, or bring Turkey in, I would be so happy. Turkey is one of my favourite tracks on the old games. It's going to be interesting to see what other tracks they bring in though. So we got Portugal and Shanghai added to the game now. Maybe we should make it a 24 race calendar instead of... Well, what is it? What is the race calendar? Race calendar. Let's have a look at the race calendar. So full race calendar, 22 races. So the 2 new circuits, 24 races. Maybe we should add them at the end of the season and end it in Shanghai. So we are just waiting for the other drivers to catch up to the back of the pack at the minute. Marcus will be loving.
That is the rumor for next year, 4 races, I believe.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be difficult for them to do a 24 race season. I mean, it's possible, but it's going to be tough on the drivers and the teams.
But Africa is a shout.
Africa. Yeah, that is a shout. Africa is a good circuit.
Very tiring.
Let's see if they brought Africa back as well. That would be great. Obviously, we're racing in Las Vegas and Qatar as well next season. And we have got the safety car in this lap. So we've got Snitsy is controlling the pace of the field. Jen Serino still in P2, both pitted together. James Ney still in P3. But now he's got King James right on the back of him. Hassel, after all of that, down to P10. Hassel opting not to pit. Hassel, the only driver not to pit under that safety car. He's on 14 lap old mediums. What is Hassel's plan for his strategy? But we'll go back to the lead. Snitsy gets a great restart by the looks of it, and he's got a 7/10 gap to Jen Serino at the minute. He had a great restart, Snitsy, and he is again showing why he's controlling this race so far. Obviously, Jen Serino with a time penalty for, what was it? Jen Serino's got a drive-through, if I'm not wrong, right? Yeah. So is King James. So that's going to really mess up the drivers' races, to be honest. And Hassel gets himself a 3-second time penalty for good measure there as well. And we've got King James looking right out to always going in right behind. King James obviously with the pace. Always going and breaking pretty late there. And didn't get the best of exit. Oh, King James looks very consistent today. So does James Ney though. What other tracks? I wouldn't mind Adelaide as well being brought back. That's a great track. They're always grinding, and Jen Serino are fighting for position And Jason just gets it done. And that's Jason up to P6. We got Mosh and Anton as well. Mosh with a great move into the chicane, and that's going to bring Hassel in as well. Anton got a very bad exit, and that's brought Hassel back to P8. We got King James opted to pit as well. He's got no damage, so what's the situation with King James there? I'm not really sure. Always grinding, and Snitsy currently the only ones without penalties. I don't think King James got one yet either, but we'll see. What other tracks would be good? You know, I wouldn't mind.
Serving drive-through.
King James got a drive-through, did he? That makes sense. Yeah, he didn't change tyres yet. Thank you, I missed that. There was Snitsy already with a 1 second gap before the DRS is active. It's going to help him out massively, but Gensarino's pulled away from James Ney as well, so them two are going to be happy that they've pulled a gap. That could mean the difference between still finishing on the podium for Gensarino or losing out. Invader up to P4, so he's had a great safety car restart, and obviously King James serving that drive-through has really helped him. So Jason is in P6 as well, so I'm going to yellow flag in sector 3. That is a car around, a slow moving car, and that is Gensarino into the pit. Has Gensarino got a drive-through? Gensarino had a drive-through, yeah. So that's going to move James Ney up to the 2nd step of the podium, with Invader currently on the 3rd step. Is it going to stay this way, or is Jason going to catch up to Invader and make a move? Obviously Jason is on the more durable tyre, but the slower tyre. And we got Hassel in the pits as well, and Anton opted for the soft set of tyres. Interesting choice. Is he just going to go for the fastest lap point as well? So no, I haven't seen a fastest lap thing come up. So is the broadcast thing glitched again? Right, give me 2.
Did it say rain would come in towards end of the race?
I couldn't tell you. I don't have... Obviously, we don't have the weather data, sadly. I wish they would add that for spectators, just so we could see what the kind of weather was about. Normally Neil Mosler lets us know, but sadly Neil Mosler can't race tonight because of his internet connection. They're doing some work, and it's not at peak performance. So he's opting to sit out just in case he causes an incident, which is fair enough.
Defo usually it rains at Canada, haha.
It does usually, but I'm assuming based on the cloud coverage at the minute and the blue skies, although that didn't look so blue, that I don't think it's going to rain. I'm hoping it doesn't rain in Tier 1. But I think there's no rain in this race. But Snitsy might as well pull his car into the pit lane for a bit and have a cup of tea, because he's pulling a massive gap on Invader. Invader did get past James Ney, and it is up to 2nd place now. And if I'm right, this would be Invader's highest finish. He's finished 3rd. He finished 3rd at Australia. So yeah, this would be his highest finish at the minute. He's just got to keep that position. Has he got the advantage in terms of time penalties? He doesn't. So he's got to pull out a massive gap on a driver that is very, very consistent. And we've seen it all year, James Ney. The only driver with 2 wins to his name this season. Because everyone else, we've had James Ney lost. No, we had Jason out in Bahrain winning. We'll have a look at always grinding as he is right on the back of Jason in a second. I will come back to winning positions. CDM has just left the session. That is, so he stuck around quite a bit. Maybe giving his teammate a little bit of help, you know, with strategies and, well, not strategies, but ERS management and where to push and where he's faster. Who knows? But the gap, Gensarino as well on the back of Mosh. Gensrino obviously serving that drive-through earlier on after the safety car. He's going to want to get to make as many positions as possible. That drive-through could have cost him the podium position, and I think it might have. But James Ney is closing slowly on the back of Invader as we speak, and that battle will start to ignite very soon. But right now, Gensrino right on the back of Mosh, pushing him through the corner nearly. Jason with another time penalty as well. That's going to affect his race obviously at the end. What is that for Seddon now? Is that 6? That is 6 seconds. It's not bad. Obviously most of these drivers suffering time penalties. A difficult track this is for track limits, especially turn 3. But Seddon goes for the inside line and he's got the DRS. Is he going to be able to make a move before the chicane? He does. I think Mosh just backs out slowly, but Mosh will go over the track limits there. But Mosh is still currently sitting in P7, and I think this it won't be his best finish this season, but it will be a decent result, as Mosh does need to catch up on points as Hassel goes and gets himself another time penalty. That's unfortunate there, but always grinding still on the back of J7, and Anton Hyper getting himself a 3-second time penalty as well. He's 31 seconds back from the rest of the field. Obviously I think we do have a bit of an issue. Let's have a look at the race director. What's the fastest lap? Or not? Okay. Race director. Thank you. Incidents, pit stops. Right, that's the pit stop times. View lap times. Right, so there's nothing about... Right, it's interesting because I haven't had the fastest lap notification come up. Maybe this will say when it fastest lap. Snitsy currently has the fastest lap with a 1:13 flat nearly, so that's a decent result there from Snitsy. So that'll be 26 points if he can keep that lead, and it looks like he might. There's not many laps left to go. If you are enjoying the stream so far and you want to keep watching these streams, or you want to even join us, just click subscribe. Also click the like button as well. We'd appreciate it. But if you want to join us, you can go to our about section of our YouTube channel page and click the Discord link, and you'll be able to join, and then we can get you trialed up, and just to make sure you're clean racer, we don't want no open lobby stuff, and then we can assign a seat. Obviously crossplay we are sadly not allowed at the minute because of the uncertainty of lobbies and how unstable it can be, but never say never. We want to bring it in, it's just we need crossplay to be at least like 70 to 90% stable. But is Seddon going to look to make a move past Always Grinding? He will have DRS. Always Grinding doesn't.
Either way, haha.
Well, see, that just shows how much it is worth the wait, especially in if Nathan here will be waiting either way. That just shows how much it is worth just waiting for. But Seddon looks like he's just made the switch back. Is he going to make it work? He can't get the traction out of the exit, and that means Always Grinding just manages to keep that position. At the minute, this is the only battle on track. These two giving us a great show to the end. Snitsy just dominating the race. We haven't seen much of Snitsy at the minute, but he is absolutely dominating. But we got J7 now making a move into the first chicane. No, not the first chicane. It's technically the second. Turn 3 is a chicane. But he does make the move stick, and he is passed. But that means Always Grinding might have the DRS for the next is Hassel. Has retired from the session. That is in Sector 1, and that is another safety car. What has happened to Hassel? That is extremely unfortunate. So that is another safety car. So that's going to bring the field right back up. And we got Invader opting for the soft set of tyres. 10 laps. It's doable. He will keep that podium position. He's just got to get a great restart and read Snitzy's restart very well. Snitsy opted not to pit under the safety car though. I mean, it's a wise choice. Just keep the lead. Seddon also opted not to pit. Currently up into second place. These tyres will definitely go to the end. And he's going to save some tyre temp, bring it down to the correct restart
All I
temperature.
had to do was finish. Emoji rolling on the floor laughing. Emoji rolling on the floor laughing. Emoji rolling on the floor laughing. And I spun out. Emoji man face palming. Medium light skin tone. Softs are terrible on this track.
Do you reckon they can go 10 laps? Well, it's not going to be 10 laps. It's going to be about 8 laps after the safety car comes back in, to be honest.
I forgot that emojis get read out, lol.
Yeah, the emojis get read out. It's quite funny. I gotta wait now and just like wait for them to stop. But you know, it is what it is. So we'll go back to the winning. So we've had a very competitive season in Tier 2 at the minute, with Jason winning Bahrain, Snitsy winning in Jeddah, James Nee winning in Australia. We got Hawkeye winning in Imola. And then we had Hassel winning in Miami, who won, and James Nee with his second win of the season in Monaco. CDM then won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So that's what's that? 9 rounds, and only one driver has finished on the top step twice. So that just shows how competitive this Tier 2 is. Oh, you got Snitsy, who might make it second driver with 2 wins. It looks possible. He's just got to manage to hope that Jason can. He's gonna hope that Jason doesn't really keep up with him really, and that he holds up the guys on softs, because them soft runners are gonna be quite fast when it comes to the first couple of laps. It will drop off quick though. We all know how these softs run. It's just going to be interesting to see how this plays out at the end. Anton getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits. And a safety car as well. This, I don't think the safety car will wait for Anton. He is quite far back. He might be lucky though. We'll just see how it plays out. It is out for another lap anyway.
Tire deck will be high after 5 laps. They'll struggle for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult stint for these guys on softs. I do agree with you there, Nathan. But it's going to be interesting to see who has the best tyre management. At the minute, I know Invader is pretty decent with his tyres, so is James. I'm not really sure what all his grinding is like on his tyres. I'm pretty sure he's done an amazing stint at one of the previous races, where he went pretty long on a set of mediums, probably longer than I would have chose to do. But it's going to be interesting to see now where these drivers end up. Let's have a look at some of the league stats, shall we? And while we are talking about teammates, Invader currently not doing the best against his teammate. Obviously, in the standings, he's 12th, his teammate's 11th, Invader. His teammate's also got 28 points. Invader's short, sadly, 4 points behind, but he could take the lead as his teammate's not here today. They've both started 7 races, and his teammate, Invader's teammates, Team Red, has DNF twice, where Invader has only DNF once. We do have the safety car in this lap, so let's get this race underway again. Let's have a look. So we are underway. Snitsy really getting off to a good restart. Early 8/10 gained. So he's just got to push and push until he's out of that DRS. He doesn't have to push as much, but he's just got to keep in that gap. Keep an eye on that gap to third as he is on soft tyres. Obviously they've been on for 3 laps, but they have been under safety car, so the wear was reduced slightly by the slower speed that the safety car travels at. As we got Jen Serino making a move on Always Grinding. J7 currently sitting in 2nd place. It's going to be interesting to see how these final standings play out after all of these incidents, but the safety car did wait for Anton. Anton is back in this race, and it's going to be interesting to see if Anton can gain any positions. Obviously Always Grinding Jen Serino. Currently no penalties at the minute. Only drivers in the midfield that haven't got any penalties. That could help them significantly at the end of this race. Only a few laps to go, and we will have DRS active again shortly as well. I don't think it's going to be active this lap. I may be wrong. I think it's next lap. I wasn't exactly counting the laps. No, we've been going for 1 lap, I think so. But let's talk about that F1 manager game. Jesus Christ, what a game that is. For a manager game, the graphics are insane. Obviously they're not the best, but for a manager game they are alright. And as Hassel now left the session.
I'm struggling, haha. Making all the wrong calls.
Yes, it's quite a stressful game, to be fair. You've got to really be spot on with your calls. I'm currently in debt on mine. Minus 6 million. I prefer not to talk about it, but it's the thing. Jen Serino looking for a good exit out the hairpin as he is on the back of James Ney. Is it going to be good enough to make the position? I don't think it is. James Ney just hanging on to the toe of Invader. That's keeping him in position, but Invader does look like he was trying to make a move. He's pushing that Haas to the chicane, and that's King James up in position as well. Mosh has dropped back. Mosh isn't crashed though. Anton's still struggling to get past the drivers in front. Only a few laps left, and Snitsy does have a commanding lead again. So it's not as commanding as it was before, but he is pulling that gap. King James making a move on Always Grinding again, and is in front. It's going to be interesting to see where these guys finish now. Obviously that Alpine looks like he's struggling. He has got Mosh right behind, and I think he has got wing damage as well. I didn't see that before. Always Grinding has some wing damage, so he's doing pretty well to keep his carpets behind. But that is Mosh trying to make a move into the chicane. Mosh just takes it a little bit deep, but no incidents there, so that's okay. We got Jen Serino as well. James Ney trying to keep that position from Jen Serino. Jen Serino just can't make it. But obviously that Haas Ascend is going to be vulnerable from that DRS. He's out of battery as well. So is James Ney though. That is a sigh of relief for the Haas driver. All of these ERX lights are flashing. That looked like it was a bit of track limits from Jen Serino. He's got to be careful. I'm not sure how many warnings he's on, but he has got to be careful if he's going to be doing that. And it looks like they're going to... James Ney, is he going to get past the Haas driver? He does. It's a great move around the outside of turn 2. And that has put him back in for a spot on the podium. He's just got to crawl out that gap now. He's only got a couple of laps left. I think it's 3 laps in total. What's the penalties? He's got 6 seconds. He needs to pull out a good gap from Jen Serino. He needs that 6-second gap. Jen Serino's currently sitting on no penalties. James Ney's going to be hoping that Jen Serino does get one eventually. Them tyres will start to drop off though for both of them. And that's Invader and Jen Serino switching position. King James is the contact between Invader and King James as well. Invader just losing the rear end. That was an unfortunate incident. Not really much you could do about that. But King James is passed and up into P5. and now is closing on Genserino. Mosh up into P6 though. Jason with another penalty that's going to affect him massively. He's on them 17 lap old hards, so he's going to be struggling soon, but he does keep the inside line. Can he get the better traction out the corner? And that's the invites for tier 1. That starts in 10 minutes. You don't want to miss that stream. Hopefully CDM makes it back in time. But it looks like Genserino has got that position and is going to stay on the podium. 2 laps remain. We are getting closer and closer to the end of this race. And Snitsy still with a commanding lead. Snitz, you can't fault Snitzy's race today. He has been unstoppable all day long. And let's have a look. Invader on the back of Anton. Anton did manage to make up some positions, but now he's got Invader right behind. Obviously Invader struggling with a little bit of wing damage. He's missing a little bit of an end plate there. That will affect his performance, but he's going to hope it's not affecting him that much. We've got J7 right on the back of Genserino again. And he looks like, is he going to look to make the move? He's not going to. He's got King James right behind as well.
Shinsi has smashed this.
Yeah, Snitzy's really done a madness tonight. He's got a 3-second gap, and them soft tyres are going to be worn. And Jason with a little bit of track limits there, a little bit cheeky from him. Didn't get a penalty for it, definitely got a warning for it though. But he has still got King James right on the back. And it's going to be a difficult fight for Sen to keep him right behind for the next remaining 2 laps. Obviously we got this lap and the next, and that is the end. Snitzy's just got to hold on for, well, not for dear life, but he's just got to hold on. As Genserino doesn't look like he's running that optimal pace at the minute, but he's doing a decent enough job. Who have we got? We've got King James, Mosh and Sen fighting for position. And there's contact. That's Sen around. King James just rear-ending Sen. That's going to drop Sen right down. Sen's not going to be happy with that. We will see that in the chat later, 100%. But that is King James up to 4th. And Mosh currently up to 5, equaling his best finish of the season. And Marcus has started a party. I will join it as soon as I can. Hawkpie has left the session. Hawkpie is sticking around to watch the whole race.
He will be screaming.
Fair play to the lad. Oh yes, Sen will be doing a madness in the Discord later. But King James looking for the inside line. Doesn't get the exit he wants. And Mosh just sticks in his position for now. But he is struggling, I think, on these tyres. And King James is really making the most that he can of these tyres. Mosh currently sitting in P4. But he's got 15 seconds of penalties. That's going to drop him right down. But Evader also with 12. And Anton with 15. There's a lot of penalties being thrown around. I didn't realise these guys had that much of penalties, you know. But they do. So it's going to be... Oh, this is the last lap. Snitsy on the final corner of the Canadian Grand Prix at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve has won.
That will move Jack up a few spots, haha.
Yeah, that might move Jack up a few spots. Then time penalties. Genserino gets P2. James Nate manages to stick on the podium. P3 that is. King James P4. Jason up to P5 after them time penalties. So even though there was that contact, luckily there was penalties that made them gain a few positions. Now the thing is, we got Invader got driver of the day. So that's a great race from the guys. Can't fault them. So that is it for tier 2. Stick around hopefully for tier 1. It all depends on CDM really. Hopefully we'll invite Always Grinding as well. We get Always Grinding to stream it. It might not be on this channel though. But we'll have to give Always Grinding the password. But But that is it, and that's been an astonishing win. Why isn't... Ow. I keep banging my elbow. What the hell? Right. Screenshot that. That's what I need. So that is it for Tier 2. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next week.